The plan is we hang out around here. I cast Find Traps. And the moment that he is noticed by them, I have him attack, and we'll have them basically surrounded.
24 points of damage. The arrow pierces through the neck of the Songless, who immediately dies.
Ooh.
Beautiful 12 points of damage.
Okay.
You pummel this guy's throat as he's beginning to wake up.
7 + 8, 15.
15, and down the creature goes.
Then he's going to behead all of them.
Like you do.
And he's going to impale their heads sort of like on a triangle of that symbol.
Rex of Red and Hamilton will show up fairly soon, help you carry away any supplies and bring them back to Crocodipolis. All right, everybody, where last we left our party, you defeated some Songless. You had cut off one of their heads, and when a rescue party came looking for them, you stalked them, delivered the head to them, and let them flee in horror, bringing word back to their ilk that this land is not to be messed with. You know, the spears and the spikes in the ground were a warning sign. Hey, don't come any closer. And now you've delivered the real warning. If you get close, we will fucking kill you. We will end you. And that results in a period of peace. A period of peace that lasts for 1 month, lasts for 2 months, and you're thinking, hey, maybe this is going to work. Maybe everything is fine. But in the 3rd month that we know as August, disaster strikes. Before we talk about the disaster, I want to say that during this time, you have social obligations. You're people in a society. You're not fully freeloaders. You got to help out with family. You got to preserve some foods. You got to do some hunting, some gathering. You know, someone needs to raise a barn, or someone needs help shopping. Like, you know, there's things to do. So you're busy completing your social obligations. You've got your towmen who are out at the anchor points watching. You've got your towmen who are out attacking the little outposts all around. You got your towmen who are checking the far anchor points and keeping an eye on everything. And folks are rotating through, right? No one is a full-time warrior in this society. We're a peaceful agrarian people. We don't have time for war, full-time at least. And that's why.
Speak for yourself.
And that's why a couple of months pass relatively peacefully. Those striker towmen that are out there clearing the encampments are doing a great job, but it's there that the disaster has struck. And that's what we're going to talk about. Because on August the 4th, the day that Madrigal, the goddess of hope, is peeking in the sky, a tiger towman returns to town. And he's got that look on his face. He's got that look of a husband who's just been in a car wreck and his wife and kids are all dead. That shattered look of, I have just gone through the worst thing I could ever go through in my life. He stumbles into town, unsure of himself. It takes a day before anyone can really get a story out of him. But it's clear from the get-go that he's lost his bonded beast. There's no way anyone would have that look, that unmistakable look, without a disaster like that. And when he speaks up, he finally gets the ability to talk about what's happened. He tells you all a story. They were clearing out a camp, he and 2 of his friends, on the south side of the woods near the river. All 3 were tiger towmen. There was a camp. It's their job to rid the place of these camps. They had worked together to clear other camps before. But here was a group of Songless invading your territory and needing to be picked off so that others would know not to come any further. And like our strategies, they attack in the night, in the quiet, because the Songless don't have good night vision. But when they showed up, when the tigers pounced upon their unsuspecting prey, light shone forth in a huge aura, like 40 feet across or something, illuminating the battlefield. The metal-skinned Songless came out of tents, prepared for action. The tigers fought them. A new Songless showed up, one whose description you recognize. I'm going to put him on the map right here. You've seen this guy before, and they describe him in such a way that you recognize him. black hair, red skin, green clothing, woolen gray cloak behind him, like a wolf cloak behind him. You recognize this description of the Toman that was on top of the anchor point when you first went there. He's the same guy who was wearing the same symbol that you found later on the southern anchor point by one of these other songless guys. This guy was here. And from his hand birth forced a great flame, 40 feet in diameter, that engulfed the tigers, burning them all.
Oh.
He later produced multiple scorching rays from his hand, striking one of the other Toman. The one that you're talking to now, his name is Yellow. He survived. One of the Toman that was hit with the scorching rays was burned and died. The 3 tigers all died, and the 3rd Toman was captured. Yellow managed to make his way home. Shattered, ruined, completely ripped, severed of his bond with his tiger, dropped down to 1st level. His friends and his beast destroyed. It is now August 7th, because it takes him a little while to get back and then to talk and get the story straight.
In terms of magic that we are familiar with, that we've seen, would we be familiar with these kinds of powers?
I think so. Light is a pretty common spell. I don't know if you have access to it. I can't remember off the top of my head if you have it, but
I think I do have light.
Yeah. You've got light. Fireball is a known spell to exist. Not many Toman have use for Fireball. It's not a practical thing in an agrarian society, but it's not unheard of. It's known to be. These scorching rays that came from this person's hand could be any number of fire spells, but it's clear that that's a lower level spell than the Fireball itself.
So I'm pretty sure you should probably know Fireball, because Fireball is literally on your on Light Cleric granted spell list probably. So you've probably heard of it, like some of the highest. Yeah.
Like my dad can probably cast a Fireball.
Probably, yeah. I don't know exactly what level he is, but it's a known thing to exist.
And it's also known that the Songless can cast these kinds of spells as well.
It's been theorized because practically every species can get access to magic, but you haven't really encountered many spellcasting songless. In fact, during the course of this campaign, I don't think you've encountered any spellcasters whatsoever.
Right.
So they are few and far between amongst the enemy.
Okay. I would imagine that White of Alabaster would probably take some time to. Obviously, he's trying to, get information about this, but also it's his job. It's literally his job in the society, first and foremost, to comfort people, to console people, to talk to people that are having problems, that are grieving, that are having these kinds of issues. So I assume that he, this is like especially dealing with people who lost their bonded, who lost their friends and family and stuff like that. This is like in his wheelhouse, absolutely. So I think, he will probably have multiple conversations with this person. And probably even part of that routine is probably to make sure that he talks to me regularly, so I can make sure, like, check in on him, make sure he's not drifting off, make sure he's not losing connection to his community. Like, I would imagine in a drastic case like this, there would probably be like gentle daily check-ins, right?
Yeah. And he's got friends and he's got family who will be around. Like, he will be cared for by society. A person like you would be, the minister who comes to help guide, but he's not alone.
Right. And he's been in the village for how long now?
The attack happened on the 4th. I think he gets back into the village on the 6th, and then, you talk to him on the 7th to hear all of this information. Or he speaks on the 7th because it took him a day to recover.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe before I head out for another check-in with him, maybe the 3 of us should have a conversation about this. It appears we were wrong. It appears the Songless are still attacking and they're doing so fiercely. What do you make of this, Gray?
During the downtime, where there was relative peace, Gray doesn't have family, he doesn't have these things. He's probably been maybe even part of these sort of like smaller skirmishes, but he'd be nonstop. He doesn't think, as I said at the end of last session, he believes that he's going to be trimming the claws for his entire life. He doesn't see an end in sight. He simply sees it as we're going to continuously do this. So he's been expecting some sort of retaliation like this. But he says, I expected that the peace would not last, but that they have captured one of our own is unacceptable, and I see simply one course of action. We rescue them and we slay them. That is it. That is the only thing on my mind. That is the only recourse here. And I think we should make it abundantly clear that to capture one of our own, they will meet the full wrath of our people.
I agree. And it said that Illumis once said that the way you shout into the forest, it will echo back out. Whatever you do, whatever wrong you do, shall be reciprocated in an equal manner by the forest, by the world, or by your fellows. And we must show the songless that this is true for this forest in particular. That if they shout at us obscenities, if they shout at us with violence, that's what will come back at them. We need to find our people and we need to rescue them. And whatever was done to our people must be done theirs as well. I can't help but feel that we're responsible for this. And I think we're also responsible for making sure we can right this. Do you agree?
No. As for, are we responsible for this? That is irrelevant in my mind. They enter our lands, we trim the claws. We are simply defending our people. If they are going to continue and increase their aggressions, he pauses for a moment and thinks and says, responsibility, I think, is simply the wrong word. This is simply a function of conflict and war.
Well said. I think we need to act quickly as well. I will talk to Yellow today. I'll try to find out as much as I can, as gently as I can, and also make sure that he's okay. And then I think we should act.
The most important thing that we have to keep in mind is that their boldness is a result of that spellcaster. Their ability to illuminate the area and their ability to cast such powerful magic makes them the largest threat naturally. When we pursue them, our goal should be to slay them first and foremost, immediately and quickly. Even if we have to retreat temporarily afterwards, we can return later and attack again and harry them. But our first priority should be to eliminate that spellcaster. Yes, we want to save our people, but we're not going to be able to do that while they remain.
I agree. And I think if we find the spellcaster, we also find the missing people. Koibu, it should be general knowledge that magic is kind of linked to language and speech, not just for Toman, but like in general, right?
Like, I don't know what you mean by linked.
Yeah, you have to speak to cast magic, right?
For most spells, there are a few that do not require it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we know that they have some form of language, right? So I think it's reasonable to assume that it works in a similar fashion for the songless, even though I've seen none of them actually cast spells, like in the ways that I know that magic works, it would make perfect sense to me that they also
Yeah, absolutely.
I just have to make sure that I'm not confusing my spell list. It's not good to run to play 2 campaigns where I play 2 different spellcasters. Hold on. Because I think I have. Don't I have silence? I thought I had silence.
You absolutely do have access to it. It's on the cleric spell list.
I don't see it. Hold on.
Just keep scrolling down.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I believe I have the ability to disable spellcasters with my own magic. I think it is absolutely possible for us to beat the spellcaster in a fight. Iskar, do you feel confident that this is a battle that we can win?
I worry that there'll be many a number. The spellcaster will likely be very, very guarded, very fortified, especially if they are the one who is overseeing the hostage, our brethren. Do we need to also bring more in number? I don't know if the 3 of us are enough. If we can't, because we can't just assume we'll get the jump on the spellcaster.
If we can convince more Toman to join us, I think we should. Right?
We should try that. Yes, we should try to collect others. But there is another option. Koibu, my subclass actually gives me proficiency with the Poisoner's Kit. And I've been thinking about it because it's one of those weird things in 5e where it's not very clear how to do it. But we literally have a bonded snake with us. I'm wondering, first of all, what are your rules on poisons? And is it possible to, and I'd be obviously like pretty muted on it, even if it's like extract a dose and you have to use it within like an hour or something, like not being able to like poison every single arrow would be absurd.
Right.
Like, what is your general rule and take on these?
I like to make sure our poisons work within the game framework. I also like them to work generally within a real world framework, and this is where things often diverge. Poisons in the real world take time. Like if you get bitten by a rattlesnake, it doesn't kill you immediately. Like it takes hours to kick in and set in. But 5e is a great fun system, and so poison damage takes effect immediately. So if you want to extract poison, if Hethys is willing to give up their poison for you, I think it would be reasonable for you to be able to use it in some way, shape, or form. The specific mechanics and like how far this can be gamed, like how much poison can you take up and how much can you apply in a single attack, I would need to peruse the rule books for, just to see what 5e recommends. But it's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, because the way my head is right now is, and Gray's head especially, is he's been very much on the idea of trimming the claws being sort of like taken relatively literally. Sometimes, I imagine if he was alone, right, and actually going out and doing combat, he would just be like going to camps and like trying to get one-shot kills on people and then just retreating, you know what I mean? Just spending his time doing that. And the poison sort of adds to that too. And sort of plays into that, and the opportunity of this like high priority target has sort of brought it back into my mind that he's thinking he can probably nearly kill a spellcaster in a single shot if with poison. So
I like this idea a lot. It's it's a really cool use of Hethys, because Hethys is generally a pretty direct, just like kind of offensive attacker, right? So this is a kind of cool way to use a snake's kind of like natural powers, if you will.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. In character, what information do both of you think is the most important for me to gain from talking to our friend Yellow? What is... I'm sure that the basics I can figure out, but just making sure that I don't miss anything when I talk to him. I obviously have to be gentle with him, and I can't overwhelm him with questions or anything. I just want to make sure that I get the most out of, or the most important information before I talk to him.
was about where they were. Obviously, that's
Yeah.
probably a pretty clear thing. But Gray's curious about the nature of the sort of like the ambush. They said they burst out of tents. Was it like they walked in and then multiple songless came out already armed? Because it seems like they were. It literally was a trap. That's the impression I'm getting. So, anything about how quickly they responded, if there was anyone on watch that they attacked first and then they sounded an alarm, how basically the story.
Yeah,
things
so
like
there
that.
was, like the other camps they had attacked, there were some tents set up. Some people had seemed to go to sleep within them. There was one person left on guard who kept on their leather and steel skin and sat near a fire doing ordinary, carving a stick, eating some food, staring into the flames. And then when the attack was sprung, immediately bursting from tents was a songless, covered head to toe with steel skin. Even the hands had steel skin over them. The head had steel skin over it, fully armored in a way that you haven't seen of any other songless. The spellcaster also burst forth from the tent, fully clothed and ready. It looked like an ambush, like a reverse ambush, like they were waiting, made camp somewhere and just waited night after night until someone attacked them. They were right along the river to the south, in a very easy and obvious place. Everyone has to follow along the river. Rivers have water. Water is life. And it wasn't, it was right at the edge of where the forest gets dense, right on that orange border line. That's where it was. Was there another question that you had that I didn't answer?
No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's good.
Let me think. Do we have any information as to what direction or general area the captured Toman were dragged to, and also whether or not do we know anything about whether this group was riding? Were they on foot?
Everyone was on foot. Yellow of Sun did not stick around after watching one of his buddies get killed, his tiger get slain, and the other buddy physically grabbed by one of the songless and metal skin. He bolted and left. So he didn't see where they went, but it is known that just down this river is a town, is a settlement of these songless. That's got to be the spot, he says.
Okay.
Were there any distinguishing features about the spellcaster? Anything about like what they were wearing or?
Yes, a gray wolf cloak. He had red skin, black hair, and carried a sword in his offhand. I will put, this is the description that you get that he can sort of write out for you. This is a description of the heavily armored and armed one that was with him that had the steel skin everywhere. And then there were two more of this type, which you've seen before. You fought some armored and armed like this before.
This was the special clothing that one of the guys that we killed had, right? This yellow cloak?
Yes, you have recently slain one of these songless on the mountain down below. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was the camp was just these four people.
And we know
and this guy right here
Mhm.
was the leader of that last camp we cleared, right?
This was the leader of the last camp you
Okay.
cleared, but it seems to be a subordinate in this group.
These two.
Mhm.
Okay, it seems like I think White is very interested in like mapping these like kind of dynamics out in his head as someone who's generally like pretty familiar with like social hierarchy and stuff like that and thinks about it a lot and learned about it a lot. So yeah, he's trying to be aware of all of this, and obviously the implication for us is that this was a pretty important, powerful group, which also means that we have generally, when we've been trimming some claws in the past, how much information do we have about like because for example, we've never seen a spellcast, or we've never heard of a spellcaster being in this group. It's been theorized, but it's not really happened. So it seems to me that generally the songless that we do encounter in combat, and I mean that we've encountered all the time. How do I ping again?
Just hold and click and hold.
Yeah. This is generally almost always what they look like, right?
Mm-hmm. That is what we've been calling your warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are seen pretty rarely. Do we know of times when there was more than one of these in a group?
I don't think so. You saw one of these, which I've been calling chieftains. You saw one of them at the northern anchor point who was hanging out with this one up here. And then you saw one of these chieftains down here again. So I think you've only seen them in ones so far. But in this group, there were two. I do believe you also encountered these, which we've been calling the hunter type. This is who had ambushed and held captive an elk before and then tried to...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So this is clearly like a like a high priority, I guess, mission for them, because they brought their kind of elites.
They're only there's only 4 of them in that camp. It was only 2 of the chieftains and then the heavy armored guy and the caster. How close was their camp to the water?
Dozens of feet, 20, 25 feet, something like that. And if it matters, they were on the west side of the river.
Okay. And we wouldn't really... It seems... I'm inferring right now this is kind of weird, right? Because this spot that our Tiger Tome were at wasn't like of very significant strategical importance, or like... Right?
They were just out there trimming claws, finding camps of songless that are hanging out in your woods and putting them down. Yeah. So it's like, it kind of feels almost like you're a deer, and usually you encounter like hunters and like hunting gear usually, but then one day, like a special ops team rolls in with like M16s. Yeah.
And mows through like a random. Yeah. Okay. I see. Okay. I think it seems clear that we need to head to their settlement. We should do it carefully and watch out for scouts and watch points and groups of warriors out on the way there. It seems like they've been provoked into a pretty vicious attack here, and I would also assume that these continue, so I think getting as much information as possible about the settlement is going to be good. It seems like there's a lot of powerful and high priority songless in this encampment. I think strategically we should continue the way that we have, lying low, staying hidden, attacking at night, staying careful. I think for that reason it might also make sense we can add people to the group, but remember that the more Tomen are in our group, the more likely we are to get spotted. I wonder if it might be a good idea if we can convince others to find a safe spot somewhere there to camp and send go out as a smaller scouting troop. I think we need to gather information about this encampment and then make a plan on how we might attack it.
That was going to be my suggestion, actually, is I don't think we should attempt to ambush the camp. I think we should attack from the shadows from range and then immediately retreat. And if we bring others with us, for example, if we are able to convince one of the crocodile Tomen to be in the river, be upriver a little bit, those that we bring with us simply will be there in case they pursue us. That is it, waiting in ambush. So I think that what we should do is, first of all, find the camp. And if we have the same circumstances, I will simply, and you with your magic, will attempt to injure them or slay them from a distance and then immediately retreat. Do not wait to engage. Do not wait to go closer. Simply retreat immediately, as if that caster comes out, they could simply uh, illuminate the area and attack us from a distance. And we continue doing that and wear them down
Right.
that way.
If they are limited in magic in the same way that we are, then they can only illuminate so many times. But we will always be able to see at night.
Exactly.
So
And
whenever we can use them whenever we can get him to expend that magic, we have time to retreat, and we have time to not fight, and then we can make sure to only fight at night.
And that means he sort of looks to Iskar. You're more suited to close quarters, so there's a chance that you won't get the action that you want. But if they pursue us, then you'll be lying in wait, and we will engage them on our terms.
And this is
Yeah,
where
I'll be
Hethys
ready.
is strongest. When we can get them into us, and we can have Hethys perfectly in position to strike. I think this is where our group is strongest anyway, is forceful bursts of attacks when the enemy is least expecting them. So let's use that to our full advantage.
We bait them into the shadows and pick them off one by one.
Right. Okay. I think this is a solid plan. I will be going around Crocodipolis and attempting to recruit people to aid us in an encampment. Even just having more Tomen with us to defend our encampment, our temporary encampment out there, that we might retreat to, is probably a good idea. The more we have there on watch, the less likely is that we suffer the same fate as Yellow Sun and the others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you go amongst your people, you will find this is a horrifying moment for them. This is what they were afraid of. Dead Tomen, those who have lost their bonded beasts. This is the sort of thing that strikes fear into the heart of your soft and gentle and peace-loving agrarian people. It's one thing to keep an eye on an anchor point, or to use your 3 tigers to strike in the middle of the night and rip people to shreds, which has so far been overwhelming victories. But victory disease has set in, and this is a rude awakening. Those that you speak to feel very hesitant about risking their necks. They all claim, well, we're safe inside the barrier. Only when you go outside of the barrier do you run into these sorts of dangers and problems. This is what we get for causing trouble, for attacking the enemy when we should just stay peaceful. We are the last of our kind. The only way to be truly safe is to just retreat and keep a low profile. It's worked for hundreds of years, thousands of years. We're fools if we go out. They're horrified by this.
Ray doesn't
One of
even bother trying
Alabaster
to
will think
convince.
to himself, but be empathetic enough not to say out loud. Although he's kind of impulsive. Wait, is there a roll I can do to see if I give in to my impulses in a moment?
Absolutely. That's what we call a wisdom check.
True. Was it advantage for some reason? But wait, do I just get advantage on those, or
No, I think there's something got bugged. It
I'll
should be an
just take
8,
the first one.
which is
Yeah.
generally not a pass.
yeah? So I think one of the Tomens that says that to White of Alabaster, he'll say, "It's worked for us in the past. I don't think it's worked for Yellow Sun's Tiger. I don't think it's worked for his comrades out there." And then he'll catch himself knowing that he did say something pretty insensitive for his,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like his father would absolutely scold him for saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize. But I do think we must act. I understand your fear, though. But just know that when we are done, there will be nothing more to be afraid of, and our land will be safe.
Okay.
So it sounds like we won't be able to recruit anyone.
Yeah, the vibe that you're getting is that your people are afraid, and they are
Gotcha.
they're concerned about what this might be like for them.
Can I attempt to gather them and give them one rising, invigorating speech?
You might be able to do that. It would take some time to gather everyone around. It would probably take, because people are spread out, it takes them a while to travel. We could skip a week or so, and you could try and give a rousing speech if you think there might be success there.
Gray,
I mean,
well,
a week is too long.
Okay.
Gray is of the movement of the opinion that, so we have this discussion we plan, and Gray is like already preparing to leave. He's thinking we're going tonight or tomorrow. We're not spending a week to.
Yeah. No, I agree. Okay. Then there's nothing left to do except for head out and plan out where we might want to set our encampment and what kind of precautions we want to take, stuff like that. Because we're not going straight to the town. We're going somewhere where we think it will be relatively safe to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the point where they got ambushed is probably not the best. But I guess we are also only 3 people, so there's less requirements for a good spot. But I'm sure we can find some sort of... Basically, how far away should we have our safe spot, our little camp, our little base?
Whenever we travel we're pretty comfortable camping, and we don't actually make camp like they do, right, Koibu?
That's true. We actually,
right.
Yeah. We don't need it. I guess everything we have, we can just have on, especially because we have Jeffrey, who can carry everything that we need. So he's basically our mobile base, right? Like, okay. In that case, we would probably head towards town, timing it in a way where we arrive like after sundown, right?
Okay.
Agreed?
We want to find the general area of where they are. First of all, if they are still there, because there's a chance that they're not. We want to.
Do we know exactly where the town is?
You know, it's at the end of the river, where the river meets the sea.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Wait, we're not going towards the human town. We're going towards their camp first. There's a chance they're still there.
Right, to see if there's any.
Yeah.
It's the same direction.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. All right, party. You head south along this river. You can find the spot where the encampment was supposed to be. The Toman describes it very well. Yellow of Sun can describe it very well. And you can find the ruins of the camp, a few little wooden stakes driven into the ground, a little fire pit that looks like it was probably here for a couple of weeks, maybe, based on the amount of coals and stones and the prep work that went into it. But the camp itself is abandoned. Would you like to continue along the river, or would you like to investigate this camp, or what's the vibe?
Let's investigate a little bit. Just see if we can find any additional information, right? I'm just checking if I don't really think I've any reason to believe they would set up traps here or anything like that. So I don't think there's any spells that are super useful here.
Why don't the 3 of you roll me an investigate check off of your skills list?
That sounds like a great idea.
Gray's going to remain sort of... so this is by the river on one bank. Gray he's approaching this. So what Gray is doing is, first of all, he's safe. He's going to look at this camp and think, if I was setting a trap at this camp to ambush someone, where would I be? So he's actually going to be looking for an ambush.
Why don't you give me an insight check instead of an investigation check then?
Nope, that's not supposed to be an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it keeps rolling mine at advantage as well.
There's a setting at the top of your character sheet, little toggle.
Gotcha. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all right. We can read and use our brains and
Yeah.
Okay, so KTZ, with your insight check, looking for the best place for an ambush here, it would have to be one of the trees above you. There's not actually any good high ground or like big old things to hop out of. In fact, it's a pretty open spot with like pretty clear lines of sight, and some of the trees nearby have been felled presumably for firewood or to open up lines of sight around here. It's actually a terrible spot to ambush somebody unless you have some sort of fake shelter that you can create and hide within. Which is exactly what they did to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that this is. Oh, that you think they did that? Is that like a preamble to something happening, or?
Nope. That's just the result
Okay.
of your check when you're examining it before everyone moves in.
Gotcha. Gray is going to sort of, looking at this, I get the impression that they really thought this out. The way they like felled the trees, they chose this open spot. It's like in order to get, for example, if I was trying to shoot, how far, with a short bow, would I be able to reach the camp, or would I have to step out of like tree cover and line of sight to reach the camp?
There are plenty of trees that would still provide you with some cover, but not a lot. And
Gotcha.
like from many places at max range, you could hit the camp or the camp could hit you. There's still some, like, it hasn't been clear cut, but there's a lot of open avenues. If you were running away from this camp, it would be very hard to stay in cover from it, which is
Okay, yeah.
unlike much of the rest of the forest.
So this was a very deliberate. They chose this spot. They planned this. They premeditated this very, very much. Yeah, he's going to remain sort of along the fringes, circling on the area. He's still suspicious while the others investigate.
You let the others go in and take the bait while you stand on the borders.
Do you
Well, yeah, I'm still in range.
communicate that you're suspicious?
Yes, I do. So Gray will say,
Hmm.
probably as we get there, Gray will sort of be quiet for a time. And Mithra's probably flying up above in circles. And he sort of goes low, and maybe the others are about to go in, and he stops and he looks at this area. They were certainly planning for an attack. They're prepared for it. They set this ambush. I worry that perhaps they may do so again. I would like to circle the area first to see if there's any place where they're lying in wait. But I will remain along these fringes here if you wish to step forward and investigate.
I think it's unlikely that they would wait out here for this long to. I guess it's reasonable to assume that somebody would come after you ambush. Yeah, we should
How many
definitely
days
be
has it been?
careful.
Since the attack, were they captured?
The attack was on the 4th. You guys talked to them on the 7th, and then it took a few days to get back here. So today is probably the 10th.
It has been a while, but Gray is still going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to circle the area.
Yeah, I'm also curious if they left some sort of like a message, right? Because again, it feels so intentional. It feels like they knew we would come back, and it's kind of playing off of what we did to them. You know, we left them a message in our previous encounter, so this is almost their response to us, maybe.
Right. Okay, well, with the investigate checks of 7 from Moxi and 3 from Pichal, the only thing that you really find here is a latrine pit that they've dug. Nothing else seems to be of interest. It looks like they pulled up camp and left. It doesn't look like they left a message for you. Or if they did, it's so obscure or culturally unique that like you wouldn't recognize it. Maybe there's something that another songless would notice, but you don't notice it. The latrine is the only thing of real interest here, other than the felled trees. And a quick examination of it makes it look like these people have a very high fat and high grain diet. Not a lot in the way of, fruits and vegetables
Fiber.
and fibers. Yeah.
All right. Pretty disgusting place.
Would you like to dig in the latrine for more clues, or is that not worth your time.
I'm kind of good on that,
Okay.
I think. I don't know if Iskar is down for that, but...
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one.
Okay. No more constitution checks for the party, unfortunately. That was going to be fun. Well, that's that camp. Do you want to keep going down the river? Or is there something else here that you haven't discovered?
What time of day is it?
You probably come across this camp. 1, 2. I think you get here in the late afternoon. You're going downhill, so it's pretty easy. You're going down the river, easy to follow. These are well-worn trails. You're moving at max speed. You've got, you've got Dahmer with you, so it's all easy to move.
Is there any sign of what happened to the tigers? 3 tigers is that's some body mass there.
The corpses are not here. The skins are not here. Either they took the tigers with them, or some other animal has dragged them off in the meantime. But there's no remnants.
And also dragging off like an entire tiger corpse is like a lot. There would probably be like
Tall order.
Yeah.
bones or like some remnant in the immediate area. But that's what Gray's going to do in the meantime. He's going to look to see if he finds like in the immediate area some sort of signs of the tiger corpses, because 10 days is a fair amount. But given how large these animals are, if like an animal dragged it off or they buried them somewhere or like tossed them off somewhere, he should be able to find something, hopefully.
Well, why don't you also throw me an investigate check, because you did an insight earlier.
Oh, my insight's so much better. Okay.
No, you don't see any sign of what happened to the tigers.
All right. I think then we need to tread carefully from this point. Watch our every step. We're very much going into songless territory now. But we should carefully proceed, I think, with the aid of... What's the name of your bird again?
Mithra.
Mithra. With the aid of Mithra.
Where are we on the map relatively, Koibu?
We are at the edge of where the orange line intersects the river.
Question this here. Wait, is that going through? Can you see my pings?
I cannot.
You hold the mouse button down.
Wait, I've got the wrong. There we go. Right there. Is that like a mine or something? I'm just wondering, you know, since we're kind of going with the tactic of like a point where we want to bring them back and funnel them in, is there something we could do with that as far as setting up where we want to lure them to?
Yes, you are aware that they have many outposts and many camps, and that there has been some sort of mining camp activity over here. Some of your braver people do occasionally leave the bounds of your forest and just cruise around, having a fun time. Folks with wanderlust, folks who just want to see the world. You know, not everyone always stays at home. And there has been reports of a road of some kind, like a track, a permanent track made into the earth, that leads to a hole in the mountain from which great sounds and horrible smells emanate. Large black plumes of smoke fill the air, and the smell of rotting eggs and sulfur flows forth from this place. It's got a toxic waste vibe to it, is what the scout had reported.
Okay.
And as you're noticing, even further down here, there is another town at the end of this river. Yeah, there are other camps around. You know, if you come up to the northwest side, there's some lumber camps up in these areas. Yeah.
I do wonder, I say this in character, something still doesn't add up. This attack was... I'll wait for Great Morning Mist to return.
Oop.
This attack was carried out by some of their most powerful fighters, some of their most powerful combatants that we have seen so far. on a point that doesn't resemble a lot of significance that we know of. But also, it doesn't seem to us that they have left us a message, despite us leaving them a very clear one during our last encounter.
They did. They killed and they took one of ours. That's message.
This is true. This is true. But they've done this before. I feel like, I guess we don't know the songless. We don't know the way they communicate. We don't know what they're like, except that they're vile beasts.
I'm going to pose a hypothetical question to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you could capture one of the songless in order to, even though we cannot communicate, perhaps over time you could. If you were presented with the opportunity to capture one of the songless, would you do so to try and learn as much as you can about them?
I think I've been thinking about this myself. They have language, they communicate. And I've been wondering if there is a way we could even crudely communicate with them and gather information.
Is there any sort of spell, some sort of like a translation spell? Is there anything like that that exists?
Such magic does exist. I don't. It's not something that your people have needed in a long, long time. So it's possible that there is a member of your society out there who's a spellcaster who has access to that. But it's like, it's never really come up. It's maybe something that would. This is a little meta, but like it's on Peach Howl's spell list at 5th level. So I probably not someone in your society now who has that. Maybe a really old Toman who's a cleric or something who's been bonded for a long time and has like disappeared off to a corner to chill out.
Right.
So my question remains: if you were able to, just as a hypothetical, would you take the opportunity to capture songless?
I think I would.
And I believe that that's what they're trying to do. Recall that the way we came together was they had captured Elki. One thing that I have learned in our confrontations with the songless, they are terrified of us. They know nothing about us, just as we know nothing about them. If I was in their position, I would want to capture one of us to try and learn, to try and gather information, because that is simply the most logical way to combat us. Yes, it seems very clear. It seems very clear. They came here with the intention to capture one of us and extract information.
Yeah. Maybe the message that we sent landed with them. Maybe they formulated a plan, and maybe part of that plan is getting more information about us and capturing one of us. That seems like the most likely explanation, at least.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a response to our message, because they tried to do that before. They captured Elki, remember?
That's true.
I think I think that has always been one of their goals. They just have not had the opportunities, and they took it this time. So
maybe that's
if we were to...
maybe that's why they came with such a powerful group, is to make sure that they could capture someone. Because if they came with a weaker group, they might have to fight to the death and not be able to. I see.
That's what I think.
That makes sense. Yeah. Iskar?
Yeah, I agree. It was very intentional, the group they brought. They definitely had a plan, I think, to capture someone. And if we are to do the same to them, it might be risky, but the spellcaster seems to be, in a higher order of their society. They would have potentially the most information that we could get from them. So maybe they're the one we try to capture if there's an opening for it.
If it is, but I'm more concerned about the fact that we need to go. What was the name of the person who was taken?
Ooh, I actually didn't write their name down.
I think the way that this is structured, if they had like the same kind of societal role as Yellow of Sun, it would probably also be Yellow of something, right?
Okay. Then this is going to be... can we do like variants of Yellow? Or yeah. So it would be like a Topaz of... Topaz of Sand.
Topaz Tiger. I'm sorry. There's a Yu-Gi-Oh card called Topaz Tiger, and they're bonded with a tiger called Topaz. So it just popped into my head.
I had the exact same thought actually. Okay.
Let's track them and see if we can free them.
I agree.
I don't think we will be able to. I don't think we can take out an entire town, but we can at least find out where they're taken and return otherwise.
And gain as much information about the town as we can and figure out points of attack and figure out our strategy for picking them off one by one. I do want to say on the point of capturing a songless, I do think right now it is more of a hypothetical than anything, mainly due to the fact that we have basically no ways of over a long period of time restraining a songless.
I agree. It was more of a hypothetical, but
right.
Let us track them and find out where they're taken.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. You head down the river even further, looking for signs of songless, and you will find it. It's not that much further down the river, maybe like an hour down the river. You're getting towards the end of your day where you're like getting ready to look for a nice place to make rest when you come across a clear-cut area. You look out down a very gentle slope and see that the trees have been leveled, except for a few. And beyond that, in the light of the setting sun, as it's time to make your evening prayers to Illumis, god of light, you see, I'm going to bring you to a new map. You see this encampment. A large building has been made on a raised area. A wall has been constructed. A small tower raised up. Little wooden barricades made in the front of it. Clear lines of sight all around. Trees clear cut near the rivers to make it hard to flee, hard to approach. The backside of the little fortress appears to be relatively intact in terms of like woods and whatnot. But the areas around the river, as you take a look, are not fully clear cut, but definitely thinned out. You can see a few songless on duty here. Some of the ones that we've been calling chieftains, a hunter up on the tower, and one of these grunts who's hanging around near some sad, hornless elk-like creatures. Horses.
I've used this exact map within the past week. God bless Gabriel Picard.
God bless Gabriel Picard.
Gotcha. Is this smaller than I imagined it?
Yeah.
Is there when we pass outside the barrier?
That I hear a lot.
This is outside the barrier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to. Is there a noticeable change? Do we? This is one of those things where it's like sort of would be really subtle. We're very fey creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Fey creatures very tied to their land. Do we feel different like going out the barrier? Is there just like, or is it maybe just like a personal feeling, like, you know, just a does something feel different as we step outside of it? Yeah.
Let's take a look at this big map here. We got a couple of lines. We have the blue lines that are the actual barrier that protects you. This is a psychological trick. It's a perception filter that sits over everything that makes the things within it easy to not notice and easy to forget. And this happens to you too, but you've lived in here your whole life, so you're, I don't want to say immune to it, but highly resistant. But it's easy to like lose track of where the mountains are in here. And when you step outside, that feeling fades immediately. So you guys can tell when you're in and when you're out. And within a period of like a couple hundred feet, the barrier is, it's not like exactly X-Acto blade thickness sharp, but it is, you know, a very well-defined zone. Beyond that, the forest gets thinner at a certain point, and you can feel the difference in that too. The darker colored trees on the inside of this orange line have, I want to just say that like it's a richer feeling to it. Things just feel a little bit more alive. Like there's more moss and mold and fungus, and you know there's a couple of like little pixies and sprite houses and homes scattered around. It's a more rich and vibrant world within that orange line that you call home. And then stepping outside of it, it's like, it's going from an old growth forest to like a factory farmed forest. There's life here. There's trees, there's squirrels and rats and stuff, but like there's a definite stepping down in the atmosphere.
Does our bond feel different? Does it feel weaker at all?
No, your bond stays just as strong over any distance. Your creatures could be 1,000 miles away and you would still feel what they feel.
So this wooded area where the woods are much more thin, but you mentioned near the back, how far does the forest extend on the back of the fort? For example, like, is it that they've cleared out a little circle, or is it that like off map to the south and southwest, etc.? Is it thicker forest?
We are at this point on this map. We are already outside of the orange line. This is already in the less lively woods. From what you can see from your position at the north end of this map, it appears like this is the only section that has been significantly altered. It might be slightly thinner just off map, just a little bit, but it's really just around this camp and mostly on your side of this camp
Yeah, the front.
that the forest is thinned.
Okay.
The sun begins to set as you examine this and chat amongst each other. Soon it will be down.
The sun sets. White of Alabaster will be praying. And he will sit and he will listen to the voices of the forest and the nature around him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he and he will try to be in tune with Illumis at this beautiful dusk hour. Anything happen? Anything? Does he feel anything? Does he have any insights? Does he hear anything?
When you're
notices?
outside of the dark forest, the rich forest, when you're outside of that, you always do feel your connection to the divine is a little weaker. You're not quite surrounded by as much life and magic and like natural elements. This area out here always feels a little sad. Not quite sad, but just a little more hollow, perhaps. A little bit more empty. Would you make me... Let me look at your character sheet real quick. White of Alabaster. I would like an insight check. No. A religion check. That's obviously the roll. Yeah.
19.
Buddy, 19.
Loomis is strong on this day.
What are your prayers like before I give you an answer? Like, what do you pray for, or what do you seek or offer? What do you do?
Yeah, it's mostly, in the, there's a really good word here that I learned once that's like really out there, basically in the Genesis story of the Toman. There's like an adjective there that's like, it sounds super cool, but I forgot what it's called. Anyway, in the in that story of the Toman, the Toman religion is very much about like being led to the promised land, being led to where they need to be, and trusting your God and letting go of like your desires to control everything all the time, and trusting the divine to lead you. So I think the way that Toman teach and learn prayer is it's to basically shut up and listen, right?
Yeah.
To open yourself up to the world, and not even like maybe because the Toman mind is faulty, only Illumis's mind is complete. And the questions that you might have for yourself might not be the correct questions. How do you even know that the questions that you might be asking yourselves are the correct ones? Because sometimes you think that you might have a problem, and you ask about that, but it's something actually entirely different. So the way that the Toman prays, they sit down and they close their eyes and they sit up straight, maybe sometimes against a tree, maybe touching some sort of plant life or something, or maybe even sitting with their animal familiar, having a hand on them. I think Alabaster likes to have his hand on on Jeffrey and like kind of feel the breathing in and out and just listen to what the world around him has to say.
You have your eyes closed in prayer. And you're listening for the advice. And out here, it's just not coming, and it's not coming, and it feels empty, and it feels hollow. And just as you're about to be like, well, that's what I get for like being outside of the home zone, you open your eyes facing west, and you see the setting sun before you, burning bright and red with a fury that cannot be matched. And the insight is there. The burning heat and light of Illumis is you. You are the burning fury. And that is what you must do. You must be ready to burn.
All right. Yeah. White of Alabaster is ready to carry out that task. And he's motivated to kill these motherfuckers. All right. So I think we definitely let the sun set before we do anything else, right? I think we've agreed to not really put ourselves in any sort of danger or combat situations if it's not night. Obviously, we scope out everything, and maybe we, after prayer time, sit amongst ourselves and kind of try to plan out what some avenues of attack might be.
Gray's gonna watch this. Gray's gonna watch the place from a distance. Do I ever see any of the other songless appear?
Yes. Absolutely. I was going to ask you to do this, but you've already done it. Would you make me a... No, I need you to do this, not Mithra, because Mithra can't communicate directly with you, but each of you can make me a perception check as you watch the camp to try and judge how many unique individuals come and go from this area.
Unlucky. Thank you.
I got you guys. I got
there
you
we
guys.
go.
Just so in tune with Illumis and so motivated by the things that I felt during prayer that I am extra attentive.
Excellent. Just make this adjustment right here. Okay, so on this other page over here, I've put these creatures on the left side. I'm sorry, on the right side. We've been calling these guys at the bottom grunts. These are hunters. These are warriors, chieftains, bodyguard for now. I don't know what else to call them. And what I'm just going to call for the time being a warlock, but you guys feel free to rename these things as you please. I just want language to talk about them. So in this camp, you will see that there are, 20? All right. Let's just give you some really good information here. You can see that there are at least 3 grunts who are generally, barely capable of combat, mostly laborers. You'll notice that there are no warriors to be found, that there have been at least two unique hunters. 20 is not, it was a natural 18, so it's not a perfect check. And 4 of these so-called chieftains, at least. That's a total of 6 well-defined fighters of some kind and 3 grunts. At least these are the unique ones. There might be another one that hasn't come out, or 2 unique ones that you've mistaken for the same thing. But you can be guaranteed there's at least 2 hunters and 4 chieftains.
Okay. We fought all of these before, so we know what they're capable of. How likely do you guys think it is that we'll find the captured Toman here?
I think that there's a chance, and that's enough that
Yeah, and
We
it's
should
heavily
do it.
fortified, which leads me to believe that
Agreed.
there's something they want to protect here.
Yeah.
and out of character, it's likely enough that I wouldn't suggest just flaming sphering into this building. Otherwise, I would say that because there's a chance that Tobin's in there. But
Yeah.
Hmm.
a flaming sphere into this area right here would go pretty hard.
Yep. Okay. I feel like we can definitely. Let's assume even that the spellcaster is here, right? Which, just confirming, we haven't seen him, right, Koibu?
You have not seen the spellcaster here. It's possible that he could be in the tent, in the wooden
maybe.
structure.
So let's even assume that the spellcaster is in there. I do believe that with a well-timed ambush, we can take out this entire encampment. I don't even think. Yeah, I don't even think we need to appear, snipe someone off, disappear, wait for them, to get reinforcements or something. I think they're being careless right now, and I think we should take advantage of that.
You're also able to cast a silence from pretty far away onto the
Yep.
entrance here.
Also, I'm wondering if we could somehow use the horses to help with some sort of distraction or
Mhm.
something with luring the horses somewhere and getting them to follow, or at least a few of them.
Hmm.
Tethys could probably scare the horses relatively quickly.
Yeah, I feel like Hethys could come in and be the
And then
distraction. to
immediately
the-
hide. Yeah.
And if they do spot Hethys, though, they don't immediately know, hey, this is a bonded beast to its home, right? Like they just think it's a snake, right?
Yeah. It's good. That's a good assumption.
Hethys just hissing at these horses would cause a bit of a distraction. And then
Yeah.
we can utilize that. And if needed, you are able to silence this area, which also might stop reinforcements from coming. And I can simply shoot from the shadows. Corbett, can we get a lit version again? Just because Gray spent a fair amount studying this terrain while we were up here. I just want to get an
Okay.
idea of.
I will light it for you because you have better information than Gray does, but I will light it for you for, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds or so, and I'm going to put it
Yep.
back to dark.
I just need to get the height, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, good. The only thing I was really curious about was this area here, if it was like low or high.
They've picked high ground.
Mhm. I know my approach path.
Yeah, I like the idea of using Hethys to get the attention of the horses and kind of spook them.
I
Okay.
think we should, and then I think we should immediately slay the ones that go to deal with the horses.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yes. I have so many spells. I'm trying to figure out what my range spell choice is. It probably is just guiding bolt. That spell is pretty nuts.
How fast is Jeffrey?
50.
50. So Jeffrey can clear this area pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we take the best shots we can at the ones who go help the horses. And I think then we immediately get ready for an offensive attack into them. Well, okay. What are we going to do about the hunter? Bowman.
I can attempt
should-
to kill them right away.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty high priority target.
You're the
For
best
you and
equipped
me.
to deal with him, Gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that bow he has much higher range than mine does.
Mm.
I do want to call
Would you
out
be able
that
to tell
while
that?
the tower looks a little funky from up top, it does have some level of like protection. He's behind half cover in the tower, just so you know.
Mhm.
He's not gonna in the dark until we're illuminated. He's not gonna have clear shots. But once he is, we will. So keep that in mind. My suggestion, Grace says, is that Tethys, so Iskar and Jeffrey sort of wait in sort of like a reserve, and we cause a distraction and we try to lure them to a point where Jeffrey and Iskar can ambush them. However, you don't want to fight in this open area because you'll be, if the spellcaster comes out, so you have to be ready to sort of run back. We either want to fight them in these woods here, in the darkness, or we want to draw them further back. But if we ever see the caster here, or this bowman, they have clear shots on you if you're fighting in this open area. So
Right.
Gray is sort of saying that we need to make that choices. We need to either all go here in this area and use tree cover, or
Really quick, I think only you have the lit version of the map right now. I'm
I
still
don't
in
have the lit
darkness.
version. I don't have
Yeah,
the
it was
lit
just like
version.
a
using-
20-second thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
I'm just
gotcha,
using my
okay.
memory of it.
Yeah.
There's like, I might be missing it, but it's like around here. There's like
Yeah.
a little bit of a rise.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Because I think that's where Hethys would have to go, right? Would be
Mhm.
like kind of this way, and then there's like this little path here that kind of
Mhm.
goes into that little like clearing there.
Okay. Yeah, I think luring them out is good, and luring them out of range of the bowman is probably good. Once we've picked a lot of them off, it'll be a lot easier for me to make sure that the spellcaster can't hit us. And be ready for that, and you, Gray, to hopefully keep the bowman in check. Him having higher range than you is obviously not ideal, though.
high range and cover. I'm probably not going to be able to do anything. To it.
Yeah. I mean, that guy is going to be a problem either way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if we take out a lot of the others, that bowman is essentially stranded here, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's saying that we need to burn an attack, but even if we
Yeah.
pick off one or two and then step back for a bit, we
Yep.
can approach again.
Okay, I like it.
We don't want an extended fight here.
Mm-hmm.
We want to draw them out. So.
Yes. Okay.
So my suggestion is that we move. We have Iskar and Jeffrey remain there, and then we have Hethys distract them with the horses, and I'll attempt to just immediately pick one of them off, and
Yeah.
then retreat.
Okay. What range does silence have?
120.
Okay. Because I wonder if the best thing for me to do, because I think what we're most worried about is probably the spellcaster coming out, right? And starting to fire or something like that. I wonder if I should be in position to prevent that. Although I guess a problem is that you'd only basically be able to he'd only be
So,
subdued for one round,
One,
right?
one,
Yeah.
one thing about the archer is that he can't move,
Mhm.
which means, and there's a lot of trees here. If you can't see him, he can't shoot you.
Yep.
So as long as you
Right.
end your turns in
Yep.
places where you don't have line of sight of him, he can't shoot you either. So as long as we fight in the forest, you can be relatively
Yep.
clear. And if we
Yeah.
do see the caster come out, in an area like here, you're in range to be able to like silence is 120. Like if you're able to silence this area, he has to actively like go somewhere
Come
else.
out, and then he's doing exactly what we want him to. Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
And
so
he's
I think just
vulnerable to
being
get
positioned in
charged.
that general area for me, as long as I'm positioned there, it's completely fine. Yeah. Okay, I agree.
think all of us should be there, and I think that Iskar, and if they obviously don't walk through the open area, but like if you can be around here, because if we get into the position where they start coming out this way, and let's say that you have a silence here, and the spellcaster has to step here, the spellcaster can get charged by the elk and get absolutely
Jeffrey and I are there already.
So our goal is for Jeffrey and Iskar to be in this general area, and then you and me to be around here. And then one thing to remember is that always try and, the way in character he'll say, make sure that you, anytime that the bowman peeks out, you are behind a tree or some sort of cover at our character, end your turns out of line of sight of him. And he's not a threat.
Okay. I think this is a really solid plan.
We going in tonight?
I think so. I think there's no reason not to.
Our plan is ready.
Yeah.
Why don't we take
our outs?
Why don't we take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break, come back, and start it? All right, everybody. It's time. The song lists have bedded down for the night. They've left one hunter in the tower and one chieftain at the door. They've abandoned the frontmost section that they were hanging out at earlier. The horses will be accessible, but they leave a fire burning out in front of the wall that they guard, making it nice and easy to see anyone coming. Someone will have to go out there to feed the fire every now and then. And party, it's your action. How would you like to begin this?
Gray will suggest that we move this way.
Gotcha.
And Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think me and Gray will pretty much be moving together the entire time.
Okay.
And you guys will be like following us along this cliff line.
Yeah.
Scar and Jeffrey.
Yep.
And then Hethus, I guess, what angle do we want Hethus to come in from? Because I guess whatever angle Hethus comes in from, and makes the noise and hisses, the horses will probably go opposite of that, right? When they get scared. So we need to think the angle they're being sent.
I don't even think we need to actually do the horses. I can just shoot someone as they go to feed the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, and Jeffrey wants to be somewhere around, we said, in range to charge, so we want to be like 50 feet from this point, basically, right?
Okay.
Somewhere in the darkness here. Does that make sense? That's in line with our plan, right?
Makes sense.
I think, in fact, by the way, I think you should actually just cast a silence on the door entrance. Like, as someone goes to feed the fire, you cast a silence and I shoot them. Just cast silence right here, because it'll keep them from hearing anything inside, and it'll strand the archer. They can call out. They're not going to hear them.
Oh, that's really good, actually. Okay, yeah. I will. Yeah.
So
I
come
will
on with me.
Yep. And then we'll time our silence plus our arrow.
And I'll just move with Jeffrey, right? Maybe like slightly.
Yeah, like
staggered.
this way.
Yeah.
So Iskar, where are you going? You're going with Jeffrey, did you say?
I'm going with Jeffrey, yeah.
And you're leaving Hethus and Mithra behind?
Hethus is probably coming with them, and
yeah, Hethus will come with us.
Mithra's doing that thing where they're like flying around tree by tree. They don't really get involved in the combat,
right?
Unless things get really bad,
right? Okay.
So
we creep forward. No sign of the enemy doing anything. What's our trigger for attack?
I'm trying to find the optimal spot first. I should be able to see the always have line of sight on the archer, right? Well, basically, I can tell what my for example, if I'm here, right, in this behind this tree, there's no way they could see me, right? if I can't see them, they can't see me.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But also you would be shooting uphill and through this fence. So if you're trying to target the fire right here, this is like a...
Yeah, I'm just measuring them.
Okay.
So it's like here-ish. I probably need to be a little bit more to the side.
Mhm.
So like this is Gray's at this point, like he's doing this little scouting stuff, right? He's like, he's like maneuvering to find the place where he has a shot on the fire. I think around here I have, this looks like a pretty good one.
What's the range of your bow?
80. That's why I'm sort of
Ooh.
like finagling.
Right, because if you were up a little higher and behind, you'd have up on that hill back there, you'd have a better shot, but then you'd be at disadvantage.
Yes. Well, regular because but then I wouldn't get my sneak attack unless something's there too.
Right.
If I step so I see where the light is. I'm not actually moving here, Koibu, yet. Actually, wait, I can just ping this spot. Like behind this tree, I'm still out of the light. Yeah.
It seems to be, yeah.
But then there's that fence, which is awkward. I think this is the best shot I have for it. Like right here is the clearest line of sight. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you Alabaster need to be within 120 feet of this spot. Like do you see my arrow?
Yes.
You need to be within there somewhere. So probably like a little bit behind me, like around here-ish.
Yeah. I'll go behind like this tree maybe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All
I
right.
guess it depends on what you have. You have to ask because you need line of sight on the point, right? Like if you want to cast
Yeah.
it at the entrance here, so Koibu's got to tell you where you are able to see it.
Yeah. Cool. So I want to position in this general area. And I want a line of sight on the entrance so I can cast silence on it.
Yeah, silence is a 20-foot radius sphere. So if you target, from where you are here, you could see the roof here, which would encompass, 20-foot radius, so 40-foot diameter. So you'd get, half of the building and half of what's out front.
Yeah, we can do better geometry work here. In that case, I would probably more cast it the middle point towards this entrance area such that this whole area in front, including the point where someone would step out, is encompassed in the silence.
Okay, so you kind of want to hit silence like almost at the secondary wall right here, and that way
I think you want the silence to get inside the building. I think it's better that way.
Because if someone were in that area, they would also be prevented from hearing.
Yes.
I see. This spell is so good. Oh my god. Listen, Koibu, I meant it when I said on Floating Fortress that White of Alabaster could take out the entire Verossi Empire with this spell.
Let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's do it.
True. Solo campaign. Okay. Yeah. No, I see the vision. And I agree. Because even if we get them to step out of a sphere that is... I lost my draw tool. Wait, no, I have it. A sphere that is like this, where the point is like towards that the like above the door basically. That would have to put the spellcaster, if we were to step outside there, in a position where they're exposed enough to where we can definitely pick them off. So yeah, I think what you said, Koibu, to like kind of above the door basically. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, Moxi / the elk should be like this area. If I was the songless, by the way, Koibu, if we were players, those like grunts we said, the laborers, they would have one job in combat. They would have a bag of light stones. All they do is just throw them into the forest.
Okay, so this effect here is 40 foot, 20 foot diameter, and you said you wanted to put it on the apex of the building.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Can I drag that shape anyway?
Of course, yes. Let me give that to you. You can drag it, and it'll click to the grid. If you hold Alt, you can put it, in between squares while you drag.
Perfect. There should be a tool in Roll20 where if you click your spell, you can make a shape of that spell appear on the map. Why don't they have that?
Yeah. Sounds nice.
Why don't they have that? Okay. You said Alt makes it snap to the grid?
Alt prevents it from snapping, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just trying to run with it a little bit here. I think I really like this position, actually. But maybe we wanted to reach a little bit further into the building, so maybe one down, maybe this. I think this is really good.
It's up to you to decide. Do you want it to cover the area once they come outside the building, or do you want a chance of them inside the building not being able to hear the archer call for help? That's a decision you gotta make.
I guess there's not, because the thing is, as long as I can't, so in my mind, there's two options. It's either this to force them to basically leave the camp to step outside of it, or if I'm not doing that, then I'm doing this to cover as much of the inside as possible as well.
I would say a center point of here is a good middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this. This is where I want to aim my silence spell.
Maybe one more up.
Okay, and are you aiming it?
I think this is good.
Because we're doing a sphere, we're only looking at a two-dimensional image here. Are we doing it on the ground level or up high in the air? What's the...
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense to have it basically be a dome. Because why would I? Because I would want the cross section that has the largest diameter to be on the ground, because that's where the people are, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to,
All right, so in order to do that, you're going to need to be probably out in this direction so you can see the ground, because otherwise you're looking up and then over walls, right? So you're going to need to actually be somewhere along this line to see that spot.
Okay, I definitely want to stay where I am. Can I aim at the top of these pikes to the
You can hit the top of this
if I
wall.
position it like this. Yeah, so basically the top edge of that wall.
Yeah, so that would be
should allow me to do something
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Is that what are we starting with the spell?
I think
once the guy comes to attempt the fire, Gray is going to give a little signal, and he's going to shoot, and he's going to cast a spell at the same time.
Okay.
We allowed to do that same time?
Yeah, he'll give a signal. You guys both go. It's an ambush round. It'll be fine. And during this ambush round, what are Iskar, Hethys, and Jeffrey doing?
I think we're just kind of waiting here by this entrance area, keeping it covered, right?
Fantastic. Well, soon enough, the fire does begin to die out. And the man on duty, the songless beast, heads out with his heavy cloaks, his armor, his sword at his side, gathers a load of firewood, and comes over, kneeling by the fire, sort of coming out of view a little bit as he kneels down. You can kind of see the top of his head and his shoulders as he piles on wood and starts to adjust things.
Gray's gonna give a little bit of a signal. It might be just sort of a bit of a nod, and I am going to fire on him as soon as I see the opportunity.
All right.
And as soon as I get the signal, I also launch the silence spell.
Okay. Well, when he stands up, he'll only be under half cover from the the height of everything, and that's the best you can do. And he turns, so you've got back attack if that matters. I don't think you can only get so many advantages, right?
Yep. Where's he getting cover from?
Because there we go. He's getting a little bit of cover because you are on low ground and there's a hill, and then he's back up on the hill. So your view of him, you're not on even ground, right? If you were here, you could see his full body, but because you're below, you've got a little bit of
Gotcha.
What's the word for that? Yeah.
Yeah. The target. I only have half of him as a target.
Yeah. You can't see his lower half because the cliff is in the way.
It's as if he's on a ramparts, right?
Yeah. Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, if he were to walk all the way forward, you would have easy shots, but he's stepped way back. So you can really only see him from the waist up when he stands up.
All right, let's go for it. Rolling at a +4 is so great.
And with
I roll that for a check?
advantage. Yes.
Tell me when. I click
This
the
is
button.
it. Click the button. Oh, is that a natural 20?
No, it's a
No.
natural 1 because I
Okay.
use my assassinate. Yeah. I use my assassinate macro.
An 18. A modified 18. How much of his AC comes from Dex? None?
Definitely no shield.
Definitely no
There's no way this
shield, but
thing-
he uses a two-handed weapon. Let me double check this creature's AC because plate does provide 18 and partial cover gives +2.
This one's in plate mail?
That is what... Is this right? I'm sorry. That's the stat block
Of the knight type guy, right?
of the other guy. This person, this was supposed to be half plate, 15. There we go. It should be 15, 16, 17 is the target AC. And you know what? I see on the character sheet, it says AC 18 half plate, and it should say AC 15 half plate. There we go. That's what we're... Excellent. So 17 is the number you need to hit. You roll an 18. You strike him. Roll all the damage.
Let me make sure this is correct. Should be 2d6 regular and then 2d6 twice for sneak. Yes, this is correct.
This person's HP is... You do... How much was it? 6 plus 12... 19. 19 damage in a single blow. The arrow strikes him in his back as he turns around. His shoulders pull backwards in pain as the silent song drops on the area. I believe this is where we should roll initiative. I'm going to give these guys a quick old surprise check because they might still lose a round as they try and figure out what the hell's going on. But our PCs should roll for their order from here on out. What's the duration of silence? Oh, concentration up to 10 minutes. Perfect.
Yep.
Both of our songless adversaries that can be seen within sight are surprised, taken unawares. This arrow comes out. The guy on the watchtower doesn't really notice it at first. He's looking somewhere else. The silence hits. The guy that's hit with the arrow might scream and begin to look around, but his screams are silent. And it's going to take a moment for the guy on the watchtower to notice. So our PCs all go first. Iskar, what are you going to do?
Is there anyone actively headed in the direction of me and Jeffrey? No,
You're the
right?
very first person to act. You can do whatever you want. No one has done anything.
I think we just wait
Cool.
because we're kind of standing guard here, right, to kind of keep this entrance
White of Alabaster.
covered.
I'm concentrating on my silent spell.
You can do other things while you do that.
True.
You just can't cast any spells with concentration, but you can cast other spells, I believe, right? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if we're attacking and this motherfucker is in range, which I believe he is, of guiding bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
You gonna guiding bolt him?
absolutely. Let's do it.
Boom! 17's a great number. It's exactly the number you needed to roll. Roll me some damage. 18.
Holy shit.
What
is
this
a
spell, dude?
Good roll. The bright light surrounds the creature, catching the eye of the archer on the wall. He doubles over further in, shock and awe. you have any movement? Are you going to send Jeffrey in?
I don't think so yet. No, I think as long as they're in that circle of silence, they're exactly where we want them, and Jeffrey is there for when they leave it.
Gray of Morning Mist, it's your turn.
Wait, another check. He's still not. He's not surprised anymore, correct?
This is the end of the turn. You're getting a full ambush round off while he's reeling and recovering, and the guy on the tower is just noticing things.
So is he still surprised? That actually matters because that determines what my whether my because I'll actually just link it.
Correct. This person is surprised.
Okay. All right. Need to roll a 17. I believe you said. It's
yes.
Not great odds, but possible.
16 is close, but not close enough. The arrow hits the creature in the armor and falls harmlessly to the ground. And I'm going to roll initiative for our friends, our enemies.
Awesome.
Okay.
So for movement, I'm going to go here. Can I make it all the way across? No, I can't because I only have 20 feet of movement.
So slow.
Yeah. I'm going to stay behind this tree, I think, so that I'm just going to make sure the archer can't see me. Obviously, I'm in the dark, but if there's light, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is actually... but I could go closer and put myself in a better position, or I could put myself in a worse position. That works too. I think this is actually the best place for me to be, is right here, and I suppose I'm just going to hide, just in case, as a cunning action.
Excellent. Take your bonus action to hide. Okay.
I don't think it's
It's not at advantage. The hunter goes on his turn. The only thing you'll notice of his action, other than notching an arrow and drawing a bow, is the hunter cries out. The hunter yells. And I'm going to make some dice rolls in the background. Okay.
Wait, I do still have movement, right? Okay. It's fine.
Okay. Perfect. That's the hunter's turn. Iskar. Still waiting?
A question. How exactly does deflect missiles work? Like, when would I decide to... Like, do I have to say, oh, I know I'm fighting someone with a ranged weapon and I have to deflect missiles anticipating that, or?
No, it's just whenever you are hit by a ranged weapon attack, you can say, I'm just going to deflect that and use your reaction to do so.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to know in case this archer ends up going after me at some point in this encounter.
Yeah. Still waiting in place?
I'm still with Jeffrey here, right? We're kind of waiting for anyone to come outside of the silence circle.
Excellent.
And pick them off. So, yeah, I'm still waiting.
The chieftain hurries into the building and is gone from sight. White of Alabaster. Take your turn.
Where did the chieftain go to?
He went inside the building.
Okay. It seems like... Let's see. What's my, I'm by a tree right now. If I peek out, what's my... Obviously, I heard the hunter yell and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's my line of sight on him? Can I see him?
Yeah, he's elevated way up on a tower, and the tower has a little torch nearby to help illuminate everything around him in case anything comes up. Like, yeah, he's easily spotted. He's got some cover from the wall. Yeah. So, you know.
I'll try to fucking shoot this guy with a guiding bolt.
Do it. 14. 14 will collide with the wall in front of him. Why don't you roll me damage for the little bit of wall on the tower? 16 is a lot of damage. The small wall in front of him,
long-range artillery machine. What the
bursts
fuck?
open, revealing, making the shots against him easier. Although he can, on his turn, probably step to the side and find some more cover.
Is the rubble from the wall, the splinters of wood and everything, are they illuminated by the guiding bolt as they burst off?
That is what the spell says. Mystical dim light glittering. Yes, the little pieces and splinters of wood glow with light as they shower to the
Like
ground.
massive sparks flying. This will look so fucking cool. All right.
Okay. Excellent.
And obviously, before I end my turn, I duck back behind the tree, Koibu.
Excellent. Just ignore these rolls.
Jeffrey's still waiting.
Mm-hmm. Gray of morning mist.
I know where the line of sight of the light is, so here I'm still in darkness, correct?
Correct.
Right. How is my line of sight to him here?
The guy on the wall?
Yeah, on the wall, because it's like super elevated,
It's
right?
super elevated, yeah. So you have a nice clean shot against him. That's exactly the spot where you're in line with Alabaster. So that's the area that has been broken open.
Cool. I'm still hidden, so we'll shoot. And I'm probably gonna have to step away because I'm right at the edge of the light here, so it's a little risky, but we are still out of it. Let us attack from hidden. He might have some cover. Beal, tell me if it hits.
7. Sorry, I didn't see the roll. 17 is indeed a hit. The creature is not surprised though.
Yep. Let's look at my sneak.
10 points of damage. Hunter cries out.
And cunning action. I think I'm gonna dash here out of sight. That's my turn.
All right. The hunter on their turn is going to change a couple of things. This is not a great position. This is not working out how he had hoped. The hunter gets down off of the tower and goes inside the building, vanishing from sight. Iskar.
Let's see.
So everyone's they're all in the buildings now.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I think we can probably start moving in.
Okay.
Because I mean, there's really no way for them to
Yeah.
escape, right? If we go to them, Jeffrey and I and Iskar and Hethus.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We should probably. Well, I mean, like we didn't really discuss it before and what the plan is now, so I won't be metagaming discussing now since we
All
don't really
right,
have
yeah.
a direct line to you. So.
Iskar,
Yeah.
you,
Illumis told you what to do.
True.
where you going, Iskar?
I'll move in closer. Yeah, I'll move in closer towards the entrance as much as
What's
I can.
your max movement?
It's what is it, 35?
So you can go up to
Is that right?
70 if you run, if you use your action to dash.
If I run,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll just dash.
Perfect. I think you and Hethus have the same movement speed. Yeah. So you can both come up to right to the edge of the silence zone. Not that you know exactly where it ends. You have an idea that it's near this area, but you can still speak.
Yeah.
White of Alabaster.
That's my name. Yeah, me and Jeffrey will, now that it seems like everyone is inside and there's no hunter outside, I will let I can keep the silent spell going if I want to, as long as like if I move in, right? As long as I don't take damage or don't purposefully end it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, me and also Jeffrey would like to take as much movement as we can towards the entrance of the shed.
Mm-hmm. Your
So
movement
that's-
speed is 35, so you can go up to 70.
Yep.
That would be like up to here.
Yep.
And
then
Jeffrey,
Jeffrey
can go wherever you want, man.
Yeah, Jeffrey is gonna sit next to Iskar.
Okay.
Actually, what's my slingshot range again? What does he come from? Like, is it? I think was it 30?
Mm,
For
your
to get the ram. I always forget.
Slingshot.
Like
What's
the, you know what I'm saying? Like the.
Yeah. You're talking about Jeffrey's charge.
Yes.
He needs 20 feet straight forward.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah, I think him standing. Honestly. How does the sphere of silence work exactly? It's basically two different spaces where sound exists, right? the sounds that exist within the.
No, it's just there's no sounds in the zone. Period.
Gotcha. Okay, they can't come out and they can't. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense actually. So I'm still linked to Jeffrey. It's not like he listens to like voice commands or anything, so he'd be completely fine.
He does
standing
listen
inside the circle.
to voice commands. Yeah, you can't
see.
communicate telepathically. You can just like
Yeah.
there's emotions that come up and back,
Yeah.
up and forth, but it's not languageable.
Okay, then he's definitely not staying inside the silent circle. He's gonna stand like right outside of it.
Perfect.
I like that
Right.
position.
Grave Morning Mist.
Ray's going to say to the others, douse the fire. And I'm going to step up over here, moving this way. How hard is it going to be for me to navigate past this little barrier thing?
Acrobatics check. DC 15.
Or I can just... Yeah, so he sees that barrier. I think I'm just going to go the other way. Like, well, he's going to tell them to douse the fire, and I'm actually just going to go this way. And then dash. Look at these 20-foot dashes for the rogue. And I can't cunning action dash twice, so
Right.
I'll just hide again.
All
just
right.
in case. That's my turn.
Iskar, back to your turn. The enemy hasn't come out yet. They ran inside the building. They shut the door so you can't see in. And, well, you can hear the sounds from inside the building. You hear the jingling of metal, the shouts of songless in their weird guttural language. They're clearly in there, a lot of them, and they're making noise, but they ain't coming out.
Well, this would be a pretty good hostage situation for them if they could communicate with us. I'm sure they could figure out a deal, but that's not happening. Okay. Yeah, I think the goal is to kind of regroup at this point outside, right?
Yeah, because we have them, we have their backs against the wall. They're definitely in a passive position.
Is this a conversation that we're having, so we should step outside of initiative? Or are we taking actions?
We're still carefully approaching to make sure that.
Sure. It's just that each
the hunter
round is
doesn't come
only
back on.
6 seconds. So if we're having a conversation about what we want to do, I
no.
want to account for the passage of time so I can make the
at
enemy's
least-
actions.
I would at least go in initiative order and stuff until we've regrouped to a
Great.
safe position in front of the house. Yeah.
Iskar, then, take your turn.
Yeah,
Ray
so
did call to douse the fire.
I'll get outside the house and just wait to reposition with the rest of the group.
Would you say KTZ?
Gray said to douse the fire on his turn.
Okay, yeah. True. Yeah. Okay. Iskar, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll douse the fire.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. You're gonna have to. It's a big bonfire. It's not a one action to douse. It'll take some time to put it out. You can find some water, or you can start pulling apart the logs. Either way, it'll take a few minutes to put out the campfire that was just that fuel was just added to.
I don't think I have any. If I had spells to do it, I definitely wouldn't have them prepared. So.
Yeah, but you can take your time. They're hiding inside the building, right? You can take 5 rounds, 10 rounds to put it out.
Yep.
10 rounds is only a minute, Is that what you're gonna do, Iskar?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything I have to maybe help speed up the process, but it doesn't really. Are there any checks I could take to?
No, I mean, it's putting out a fire. It takes like a couple minutes, but in combat rounds in 5e, a couple minutes is like a lot of rounds.
Yeah. I'll start working on that fire then.
All right, you come over here and start to rip apart the fire. It does not
Wait, I
crackle.
have this thing on my character sheet called a rostberry. I think I can use that here. I'm not sure. Anyway.
The fire makes no noise as it burns before you, for it is within the silent zone. As you get to the fire and begin to do the things, you might note it. Probably not. From your position, you can see that the door over this little wall right here opens. You can at least notice the door. And coming out is one of the songless, steps out, sword in both hands, cloak behind him, half plate in front of him, hands on the sword, looks around, sees a snake, an elk, and a small little weird forest fey creature as the horses like back up and freak out at the battle happening. And the big guy. Does he have enough movement? Object interaction. Ooh, not quite enough to get over to you and attack. But as you get to the fire to adjust it, he'll use the rest of his movement to approach you. His sword in his hands. Whoops, right there. Perfect. That is the end of his turn. White of Alabaster.
Yeah, White of Alabaster uses his movement to... Okay. Sorry, I missed it a little bit. The guy stepped outside into the silence circle, right? He's trying to find his scar. Do I have line of sight, or are these pikes in the way? Are these what are these called? Wooden stakes?
Palisades? Stakes,
Palisades. Are they in
either
the
way.
Yeah.
No, the hill is in the way, though. You're right next to this hill, so you can maybe see the top of his head or something like that. That would give him,
Gotcha.
Pretty good, like +5 to AC.
Yeah, I want to move into position.
Well, you've got 35 feet of movement, right? So you could easily come right here and be directly in line of sight.
I don't know if I want to be exactly right there. Hold on a second. Because I think I still would like to have some kind of cover. What if... Because the elevation shouldn't be too... The elevation difference shouldn't be too crazy. Like, if I'm, like, right behind these palisades.
Yeah, you have to just, like, be inside them so you can see him. That's all.
Okay, because I'm thinking about, like, taking cover behind them and then...
Sure. I mean, you can come here, cast your spell, and then, like, move 5 feet behind them. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
As long as you have the movement. Your movement's 35. Oh, easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a problem.
I will continue because it doesn't fucking cost me anything, right?
Slots.
Yeah, spell slots. Which I haven't been tracking, my bad.
You've only cast one of them so far. Oh no, you did two. Okay.
And then I also used my silence, which brings me to 1 here. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah. I will... Wait, what range does Toll the Dead have again? Toll the Dead is 60 feet, bro.
So
I'll
good.
save my spell slots. This guy's...
Toll him.
Yeah, not a problem for me. I'll Toll the Dead this guy.
Drop it.
Wait, whoops. Wait, why didn't
That's
that...
it. That's the right thing.
Okay, yeah,
He makes
I
a
did it.
saving
Okay.
throw, a wisdom save.
Right.
DC 12. He rolls. He should not be rolling at disadvantage. He rolls a 20 on the save. It's a success. He is not injured.
That's
Gray-
fine, though.
Yeah.
Because Jeffrey
And you move back.
is going to fuck this guy up. Now, I want to make sure to have him make this attack in a way where he weaves into the silence to make the attack, but then can weave back out. I think he should have enough movement for that, right?
Yeah, if he wants to come in and attack, then he can come in and back out. Although when he leaves a threatening square, there's an attack of opportunity, unless the enemy is dead.
This is true. Yeah. Okay, let's just see what happens then.
Just a regular walk in and strike him.
Yeah, this is not going to be a 20-foot straight shot, it doesn't look like.
Nope.
So we'll just hit him with a regular good old ram attack. Boom.
15 is the number to roll. Whap! You hit him with the horns.
And then you get 1d6 plus 3.
Yeah.
4. Whoo! Max roll 9 damage! Jeffrey, you're the goat.
The Songless is battered by the horns, pushed into the cage that holds the horses. Iskar, you just got over the fire. You started grabbing this log and trying to slide it out. Oh my god, how do I? Oh, I thought his turn was over, and yeah. Gray, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. There's no way I don't have a clear shot from right here, right? With because there's a bit of elevation, but I'm at 80 feet back. I should have something approaching a clear shot. Not like full cover.
Are the trees branches? Because you're under tree cover. Are the trees in the way? That's only like a 5-foot climb. I don't think so. Yeah, that's a pretty good shot. I'll give it to you.
Still in darkness. Nope.
A 12 is not good enough. No. No.
So we use 15, we have 5, and then we can get 20 to go over there. I'm going to stay here then, behind this tree. That's my turn.
All right. Iskar, you started pulling logs out of the fire when this giant songless stomped over to you, bleeding from wounds, armor on, cloak behind him, sword in both hands, ready to crush you. Jeffrey showed up and did a little bit of damage, but it's his turn next. And that's a big honking piece of sword. And even though we've corrected everyone's HP, so you are correctly at 21, it still could be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea, though, of putting out the fire is to kind of put us in an advantageous position, right, to take these guys out. So, I mean, he's here. He's got a lot of chip damage on him. So I'm going to step away from the fire and attack him, try to finish him off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do I'll go for a flurry of blows.
Okay. Start with the first attack. See if it hits. 17 is good. Roll me some damage. 6 does not quite kill him, but it is wounding. He is down low on HP. You flurry of blows. 2 more attacks this round. Go ahead and make them. Critical hit. Look at that text. Wow. Max damage. Well, near to max damage on the critical hit. The songless crumbles, falls,
Nice.
and dies.
Silently, I might add.
Very silently, yes. No one on the inside would know what would happen, except at the door. He left it open as he came out. Anyone on the inside might be able to see out of this. And actually, just about. Okay, that's fine. The chieftain is gone. White of Alabaster, it's back to your turn.
Cool. I will stay behind cover here, and I will redraw my antlered slingshot, and move Jeffrey into position to ram anything that might come out.
Okay. I think the line of sights are all a little awkward here. All you can see after your turn ends is that the door shuts once more. And then Gray can take a turn.
So I'm going to reposition. I said, why did they have to intelligently make their barriers, right? Like to actually block line of sight? Wow.
Wow.
How dare they not just give me free shots?
Capable enemies.
Yeah, right. So I will dash over here, and I'm just going to. I suppose I can make a perception check. I want to see if I can hear anything, like if they're moving around or anything.
Oh, yeah,
So-
you can absolutely hear them. There's sounds, there's yelling, there's the sounds of metal clacking on metal, leather on stuff.
I'm trying to see if there's anything, like if there's a back entrance and like they're flanking us, right? There might not be nothing there, but that's what Gray's focused on right now.
Sure, make me the world's greatest perception check.
Watch, it's so easy. It's not advantage, damn. 19's still pretty good though.
Yeah, you hear sounds from inside the building, but there's nothing to indicate that they have slipped around to the side of you.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay. Now we're going back to Iskar. You're trying to take down that fire again?
Yeah, I think I just work on the fire for now because
Okay.
the door to the building closed, right? I still don't know exactly what's going on inside. That seems a
Right.
little risky to just charge in, so I'm back to working on the fire.
Okay. Alabaster? Just hanging?
Just waiting in position and waiting to figure out further what we do from here.
Mhm.
But for now, I don't have a reason to believe that nobody else might be coming out here. So we'll just stay for a second and just hold.
Okay.
Adrenaline's pumping, so you're probably like, okay, where's the next line of attack?
Yeah.
Where's the next thing? So he's focused, razor sharp.
What about you, Gray? Anything
Okay.
different this round?
Yeah, so Gray's actually going to come up this way. Running past, and he's going to move here. I am going to... we have a specific language, right?
Yeah.
So he's just going to do this. We could simply burn the building down, but we take the risk of, if Topaz is inside, losing them as well. So I'm going to try and call out in our language, so we can hear them. I'm going to try and just make I assume our people have like some sort of sound or song. They can't understand us. I'm going to try and call to see if there's any way that Topaz responds. You know, I'm going to try and say something, either their name, call for Topaz, or like a song, maybe like a song that we, the songs, do. Just anything that would be recognizable.
Calling out for Topaz in your own language.
Yes.
All right. We'll wait a full round to see if you get a response. Everyone else, I think, is just tending to fires or waiting for something to happen. 6 seconds pass. There is no reply. Nothing that would sound like Topaz within.
So Gray will turn to Abbas and say, "We could burn down the building if you wish.
Yeah.
If you wish to take the risk of them inside."
If we're going into conversation between players, I'm just going to track it in real time so that appropriate rounds will pass.
I'm going to draw my bow, and I'm going to ready a shot. And it's not going to be directly at the door, I think, but I do have, like, you see where it is, right? I'm basically just ready to shoot anything I see. And Gray's remain like that until further notice. Gray is ready to shoot.
Okay.
Yeah. It sucks that we can't communicate with them at all. I'm trying to actively figure out right now if there's any way that we can communicate.
You could communicate with them. You might not even be in this initial situation to begin with.
That's true. If there's any signal we can send that's like, it's already way too complicated to be like, give us our friend, or we will. There's like too many grammatical and yeah. Okay.
There's no way.
Yep.
Maybe if you had a hostage and you could hold a knife to their throat, maybe, but you just killed your only hostage.
Yeah. That's true. Maybe we. Well,
all
what
right.
are you gonna do?
Well, a minute will pass. The fire will go out.
Yeah.
There's still the fire over here on this post burning.
I think you should just flaming sphere and ram it through that fucking door and into that place and just set it.
That is what Illumis told me. Iskar, are you okay with me doing this?
Praise Illumis.
Praise Illumis. All right. White of Alabaster is going to cast Flaming Sphere. Whoops, that's Guiding Bolt. My bad. Flaming Sphere at the fucking door.
Okay, so it's been about a minute and a half since the combat started when you get to Flaming Sphere on the door. Please put Flaming Sphere. Oh, you did. And is this also a concentration spell?
I don't think so, right?
It is. But
it is. Okay, I know. True, yeah.
Okay, so it'll last for up to 1 minute. Silence drops. What's the radius of Flaming Sphere?
I'm looking at it right now. Range 60 feet. 5 foot diameter.
Okay, 5 foot diameter is about the size of this ball. And does it say how much light it emits?
20.
20 bright, 20 dark, or dim? Very nice. All right, you've put out one fire and created another. It rolls up to the side of the building, and the wood will soon begin to burn. It'll take a while, you know. A building does not immediately go up in flames in 6 seconds. It'll probably take a couple of minutes for the whole thing to really, really begin to catch fire. But it's there, against the doorway, beginning to spread its flames.
The door surely is going to get fucked up, though, especially because he can ram it as an action to make something do the thing.
Yeah, you can ram the door over and over. And it's not like this is a well-made modern metal door. This is made of a series of planks. They don't have good wood glues at this point in time. There's little cracks between the planks. The flames will be able to seep in and surround the wood planks on all sides. It will take some time to set fire. A few rounds, but certainly not more than a few minutes.
And Jeffrey is at any point ready to ram the fuck out of anyone coming sprinting out of the store.
Yeah, once the door breaks down, I'm going to have good vision in there, and I'm going to be in the darkness, so I'm going to be able to shoot at things inside.
Okay. Let me just double check my notes over here. As the flaming 2 rounds after the flaming sphere has gone, the enemy within will begin to take actions. Inside, they have been doing something. Their plan is interrupted. You're all sitting there with, I do believe, Brave Morning Mist has a readied shot aimed at the door.
Yep. Right.
White of Alabaster has got Jeffrey ready to ram the door. Iskar, what are you doing?
I'm going to get a little... Well, yeah, I'm going to get a little closer to the door, just kind of get in position.
Great.
For anyone who
Position
comes out.
yourself and Hethys wherever you would like. You've had plenty of time to get there.
Okay, right.
Okay. Excellent. And Alabaster, White, you are...
I'm ducked behind the palisades, looking at my sphere, controlling it like it's a marionette with strings.
Excellent. The first of these creatures will come on in. It took me a moment to realize which way the door opens. The door opens inside the building. It's the only sensible thing. So you can open the door, and there's immediately like a flaming sphere. You said 5 feet in diameter before him. Flaming
Sounds right.
sphere. Is a known spell to them, so they would know that it does not have HP. You can move it, you can direct it, jump across pits, ignites things that aren't being blah, 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 blah. So how does one of these songless get past the flaming sphere that is blocking the doorway? Can they even, is the question. Because he can open the door, and then there's just like burning ball of fire before him. It has a certain amount of mass. Like, clearly, if an elephant charged the flaming sphere would move. But can a single songless move a ball of fire? Certainly not without taking any damage, but if he had a shield strapped to him, which he does, could you move it? And I don't know. There's no rules for this. Players, how do you think other people interacting with the flaming sphere works?
What is it? I've been having trouble imagining because Casey used the word ram when he talked about me moving it, which to me implies that this has like a weight, like a physical, like it's not just a ball of plasma, right? I'm having trouble imagining what this thing is made of, I guess.
So I have the way I've always ruled this spell, Koibu, is that it does have mass similar to a creature, specifically because of the first line of text where it says, a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice. If it didn't have like mass and whatnot, I feel like it wouldn't need that. Like it just pass over things. So I've always treated it as an object or creature. I suppose it's. Do you think would this guy try and shove it like you would a creature? Right. Well, I suppose that's the question.
It doesn't have HP. He's familiar with the flaming sphere spell, so he knows it's not. There's no point in trying to slice through the fire. If he's got a shield and he's brave and he doesn't mind taking damage, he might try to shove the sphere out of the way so that other people can leave the building, which is their plan.
Shove against his spell save? That seems like a kind of reasonable way.
That seems like a reasonable way. All right, that maybe an athletics check against the spell save DC.
That seems
Sounds good.
That seems reasonable. Your spell save DC is 12, so he will get within range. He will take damage, but can he also shove it out of the way?
Mm-hmm.
And an 18 will do it. He will hit the sphere. Oh yeah, it's a guaranteed fail on the save. So roll me flaming sphere damage again, whatever that is.
That is found, I think.
2d6 damage. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Auto fail.
You already rolled it. It's right above you.
6. I see.
7 points of damage as the Songless like shove the sphere out of the way and then steps to the side.
Oh no! He's not stepping to the side before I shoot him.
That's right. He goes to step to the side, and your arrow launches in his direction. Now
I'm shooting from darkness.
Yes, the previous chieftain that stepped out, that was out there, had the half plate on. This person is only wearing padded armor and a shield, and is wielding a long sword instead of a great sword.
Heads up. Sorry, I should have done the warning sooner. I do have a hard out in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Roll the damage. Roll the attack. You did. 14's a hit for 15 damage. He'll take the 15. And if you've got a hard out in 5 minutes, we'll play through this one round, and then we'll end it at the end of this round.
Does Jeffrey get to ram him here? Because he was readying?
So you can ready an attack, but a ram is a run and hit.
Yeah.
So you can ready the movement, but not the attack part of it, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, all good.
From within the building, you can see that there's a hunter. There are actually 2 hunters. Somehow the other one didn't get rolled into initiative. There we go. First hunter just steps, still within inside the building, looks out, can't see much, can only see the elk, and is just going to make 2 attacks with his longbow at the elk. 14 and a 21 against Jeffrey's AC 10, hitting Jeffrey for 12 points of damage.
That's okay. He's tanky as fuck, bro.
Very tanky. The hunter will move to the side, allowing other people to go. Iskar, this guy's come out. He's moved to the side. There is this flaming sphere nearby, but he's moved gently to the side. Any creature that ends their turn within 5 feet must make a dex save. So as long as you don't end your turn next to the sphere, you won't take any damage. What are you gonna do, Iskar?
I'm thinking I could use Flurry of Blows to go in and attack him, and then I get the movement increase, right, from the added effect to it, the built-in disengage, so I could then disengage out of there.
It's a drunken technique.
Yeah.
Whenever you use Flurry Blows, you gain Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to do that then. So I'm going to move into Flurry of Blows to start.
All right. You step in, give me your first attack, and then we'll flurry it. We got to go quick because he's got a hard out. 8 is not good enough. Make me the 2 unarmed strikes. And this is your second time using Flurry of Blows, so I think you've lost 2 key points here. That is a 9 is a miss. Give me your second unarmed strike. A 15 is a hit. Roll me damage. 5 points. Nice. And back off to wherever you would like to go. And is Hethys doing anything?
I'm gonna keep Hethys as is for now, just because the fireball there. So if Hethys goes into attack, then Hethys is kind of stuck there, right?
Yeah. The next
Hethys remain.
Hunter. Fire is giving them enough light by which they see Dahmer. Will also take 2 bow shots at Jeffrey. An 18 and a 19 for 10 points of damage. And then move to the side.
Rough for my boy.
White of Alabaster. Your turn.
I will make sure that this guy doesn't fucking die.
You can retreat, Jeffrey?
Well, I'm gonna heal him first of all.
Nice.
I will cast. I think I prepared both healing spells, right? Yeah. Which one's the one that's more, but only from that's?
Cure Wounds is the better one. It's D8 plus your spell mod, which is 2. So D8 plus 2.
I will cast Cure Wounds, leaving me at 1 spell slot in level 1.
Excellent. Roll me some hit points.
Why can't I find the spell? Hold on. There it is. Okay, yeah, it's actually. Yeah. It is 1d8 plus
2.
That's
Excellent. 8 HP. You can move
Yeah.
Jeffrey anywhere?
He should definitely. Yeah, I don't like his position right now. These guys are eventually gonna have to leave the building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna retreat him down the ramp here for now.
Remember, you can
Great.
ram with the spear too. It's a bonus action.
Gonna move him so he's totally out of sight from them. Perfect. Yeah, you can move your sphere and do with it as you please.
Oh fuck yeah! Yeah, I rammed the sphere into the fucking song list. Boom. That's a bonus action. That's crazy. This spell's really good.
Yeah. He must make a dexterity saving throw, which is an 8. It misses. You do 2d6 damage to him. 5 more points as the song list begins to burn. From the inside, the next chieftain. Well, they're both going to be going. The next chieftain comes up, and once again, the flaming sphere is in his way. So he also must make an athletics check against DC 12, which is just barely a pass, knocking the sphere back, but taking 2d6 damage as he does so. Please roll it.
2d6.
5 to him. And what was his movement? His movement was 20 to get here. He does that action. He only has an additional 10 feet of movement. He does not want to block the way from his allies, so he's going to step gently to the side. Gray of Morning Mist. It's getting awkward and clumsy in here. It's hard to get out without this big burning ball in their way.
Yeah,
But you find a good position.
I want to end it, and I will shoot. That's going to miss whoever I am.
Miss.
So.
Whoosh. The
And I'll
last.
hide.
Perfect.
That's my turn.
The last chieftain, finally able to use his full movement, runs all the way out. Ending, he didn't have enough movement to get away from the two of you guys. So he ends his turn right here, adjacent to Iskar and Hethys, standing out in, well, not in the total darkness, because he brings, actually, no, they all have shields. So yeah, he is not in total darkness, but not able to see much. Really, all he can see is Iskar and Hethys. Once again, in the front lines, main targets. Since we have a hard out, we are going to end right here in the middle of combat. When we come back next week, we are going to sort out what happens in this battle. There are 3 chieftains and 2 hunters. And the spell slots are running low for the party. We'll see what happens next week.